Done. Saw Taeyeon and I think Billy are in the same salon. Their face that small.
Smaller than your face.
Smaller than my face. But also new insecurity unlocked because they keep like coloring my hairline.
Oh my god, they keep coloring my like scarring. 2 person had to come and help me. I was like, oh.
엔진 선제 엔진로그. We're at photomatic, but the original frame they have is no longer in use, so they've let us use the flower room to take pics on our phones for free. So we're gonna do that and try and Photoshop it into the photomatic frame. Decided not to go to KSPO. It's too hot. We're just going to concentrate tomorrow. See ya! Yeah, it's so hot. We're looking for more than I can't eat one. Concert day 2.
Day 2, and it's still as hot.
Now everybody, make some noise! You ready? I say don't, you say don't. I say Anna, you say Ippen. Anna. 지금까지 엔하이픈이었습니다.
Okay, get ready with me as I talk about my experience at the Fate concert in Seoul. Honestly, I'm still going through it right now. It's Tuesday, the 1st of August, and I haven't really gone back and watched everything and processed everything because I'm still traveling. But I have to say that it was something else. It was really something else. Even from the moment I stepped into off the train, that path towards KSP where you start walking, I really started to feel really emotional there because last year there wasn't much fanfare around ENHYPEN because I think usually they give that space with the banners to the one that performs at KSP. I can't really remember. I know there were some banners, but it wasn't as big of a scale as it was this year. And then this year when you come out of the station and you start walking there, and you immediately see like the banners and everything of the individual members, I just started like tearing up because it just shows how much they've grown over the past 10 months, not even a year yet, like 10 months or so. I think Trace and I went at about 9:30 to start queuing for merch. Dark Moon merch specifically. We did not imagine that it would be such a long queue. But yeah, I think we queued for around 2 hours and we gave up properly at 11:30 because we decided that, you know, this is not worth it and we wanted to do like other things as well, like take photos, get our ENGENE PCs, get our light sticks pad, and just like not have to worry about running around super last minute. I'm a bit sad because the merch this time was actually quite cute. So day 1, ENGENE, I pulled Jake. Trace pulled he, who is her bias. Like her bias luck is like really next level. Managed to find a trade for Jay though. But it was pretty quick, it was like within 5 minutes. And then the second day I think they were filming some content like around the whole like KSPO outside area. And you could just see like different groups of like camera crew filming different groups of fans. We didn't think of anything of it, so we just like made our way to the ENGENE. And it was also like my birthday lah, so I was really hoping for like for the ENGENE lucky card. I didn't get it and that's fine. I mean, I know it's exclusive and stuff. This thing happened at the ENGENE where I think they had like staff around from the FC team, like the fan club team. They were just like hovering around the back and I didn't think too much of it because I thought, oh okay, maybe they're just there to like, you know, control like the quantity of the PCs and stuff. So I took my PC from the ENGENE and then I was like walking out to the area because Trace was outside already, like outside the queue. So I was just like trying to find her, and then I haven't opened my PC yet at that point. I pulled some home by the way. And then this staff just like ran after me. Like, she really ran with her life, man. I was just like, oh my god, did I do something? Like, did I do something wrong? And she was like, oh, do you speak Korean? And I was like, yeah, I can understand. I mean, I was holding my passport last, so I think she clearly knew that I was not Korean. She was like, oh, your your ENGENE bong is really, your light stick's really pretty. I was like, oh, thank you. And she was like, oh, we're actually doing some like Weavers event thing. Can I take a photo of your light stick? I was like, oh yeah, sure. I'll put a picture of the light stick here just for you guys to see like how I decorated it. So she took a photo of it and she was like, oh, look out for your light stick being on it. And then she passed me this stack of photo cards. And I was like, I was like in shock because it was very clearly like an OT7 stack because it was like this thick. And I was like, oh my god, like what PCs are these? Because they look like the initial like broadcast PCs for M Countdown, but the backing was different. Like the backing they used was for round 2 and I was just like complete shock because I was still trying to process what happened. Like I got a stack of PCs because they wanted to use my light stick for content. I was just like and then I completely forgot to trade for Sonu. So yeah, I was just like dazed all the way till, you know, picking up my merch and like pairing my light stick and stuff. Wow. Birthday luck is real. Yeah, so that's all the pre-concert stuff. So Trace and I were on the right side on day 1. We were kind of separated, like one section apart on both days, but we were on the same side. And then on day 2 we were on the left side, on the first floor of VIP. And actually, like, I think with KSPO, I was quite glad after I went into the venue that I did not get the floor seats, because for first floor it's like just nice because it's at eye level, so you can really see everything, and you can also see the whole setup, the screens and all. So yeah, I was actually really happy with my seat. The view was really good. It was a good enough distance that I could still see their faces, but also be able to like enjoy the entire like stage production, the screens, the stage like lighting and everything, because I feel like that's also a very important part of what makes a concert good, and not just, you know, obviously the members themselves. And it was also nice because they also had like a middle screen on like the side of the, I don't want to call it a coffin now, but it really looks like a coffin, so that coffin looking stage thing. So I didn't have to keep turning to the side. I usually have to if I'm sitting on the side, like to watch the VCRs. And also there was a screen like right opposite like on the other side of the, on like the upper part of the first floor. So like if the members are like performing in front of me, I can still see the close-ups and stuff without having to turn to the side, which I really hate when I have to do that during concerts sometimes, because like I really feel like I miss out a lot of what's happening on the stage itself. So that was nice. But the scale, man, the scale this time was, whoo, it was on a different level from Manifesto. It was so good. Like, the pyrotechnics to even like the way that they just play with like the space and the stage and stuff, especially during like I think it was like the second segment when they, you know, the third segment when they came out in like the rocker style fits for the more rock style songs like Paradox and Attention Please. And when they came down on like the suspended stage thing in the middle, it was really nice to see just how they play with the stage during that part. And of course, like there was a lot of like really different surprises throughout the entire thing. When Jay came out in his silver hair during the soundcheck, I was just like, did he actually like bleach his hair again? Yeah, and I was just like talking to the engine like next to me, who was a Ricky Bias, and she was just like, actually she was the one who pointed it out to me that Jay has silver hair, because I thought he was Heesung at first, because you know Heesung had like silver hair for most of his comeback, and then she was like, no, it's Jay. I was like, oh my god. And then both of us were like, oh my god, Nikki also changed his hair. Yeah, it was like a whole process for the two of us. It was quite funny because like she was, I think she was she was Korean, and we were just like collectively screaming in like broken English and Korean at the same time. It was super funny. But it's nice to know that, you know, the fangirl experience is universal. The performances were amazing. I feel like they've really like outdone themselves, and I always say this like every time, like ENHYPEN are such like great performers, and they really pushed themselves to give a good show. And I really liked the mix that they did for some of the songs that they performed before, like Drunk Days. And we finally got a live version of Blockbuster, which I was really like, oh my god, I cannot tell you how happy I was, because Blockbuster is one of my favorite ENHYPEN songs ever. And I was actually quite surprised that I think they used like a dance break in between Drunk Days and Blockbuster to kind of fill up for Jeonjun's parts, so that they could do like a pure like ENHYPEN version. And I was just really happy that they did it this time, because last year we were robbed. Oh my god, I cannot talk enough about the intro when you first appear on stage. That was so amazing to watch live, because something about Jake channeling his inner like Gino from the webtoon, doing his like that fire thing. I don't know if they can replicate it for the rest of the tour, because I think some venues are stricter on like the use of fire and stuff. But when he did the fire thing, and then Jay had the arrow, like the shiny arrow, and then there was Nikki like right behind him, I was just like, oh my god, I was like screaming so much. And like the rest of the members kind of like appeared behind him, and then there was like a whole spectacle with the rose petals, and then Songhoon had a diamond mask. It was just so pretty to watch. And I was just like, oh my god, I feel like they stepped out of the VCR onto the stage. That was how it felt like. And I honestly was not expecting them to like come down this time, because I mean it's KSPO, right? But I forgot that KSPO has the thing with the carts on the second floor. So, which is why again I was really glad that I was on the first floor, because I could actually get a pretty decent view of the unit stage. Like that feel when O2's and Sonu were performing. Both days they ended up on like the opposite sides to where I was, which was a bit sad, because we thought that they would not change sides on day 2, but lesson learned with ENHYPEN is that they always change sides. The members kind of came around on like the carts to interact with the second floor, which I thought was a really sweet thing for them to do. Like I'm pretty sure they thought this through as well, because like last year during Manifesto, like they mostly interacted with the floor. This time they really made sure that the second floor felt included as well, and I thought that actually I think this time they interacted more with the upper floors. So it was just really nice that they like really just thought all of this through and wanted to like get as close to as many engines as possible. And then of course there was Criminal Love being performed for like the first time. I honestly wasn't expecting them to perform both Criminal Love and One in a Billion. Because they performed 1 in a Billion before, but they did perform 1 in a Billion as well. I feel like the entire performance from like end to end just really kept me at the edge of my seat because I didn't know what to expect next. And I feel like that's the beauty of kind of being there for like the first concert of the tour. It never ever feels the same after the first time because you kind of know what to expect already. And also the VCR production this time was like chef's kiss, man. Like, I just feel like the continuation and the storytelling was just there. Really helped to like set the tone of like the different segments from like the dark to the light and then to the dark again. Anyway, I also wanted to talk about the new Fight Me choreography. I really kind of empathize with Jake when he said it was really like physically hardest for them during that particular segment when it was just back to back of Criminal Love and the Dark Blood songs. Having to change the choreo and have the members who usually aren't in the filler parts to do the filler parts is really, it looks and sounds physically exhausting. Because where they used to have breathing room, they wouldn't have breathing room anymore now. The new choreo is nice. I'm not saying the new choreo is not nice, but I really just wish that this entire thing would have played out differently. Anyways, on to the happier stuff. I think the ments were quite emotional on day one, especially for Sonu. And I think it was really sweet that, like, there was this point, I think, when Sonu already started crying and I think he was still trying to finish up his ment. And Jay just did like a little run for a towel so that he could wipe his tears. But I think he was trying to check that, you know, he wasn't distracting from Sonu's ment and wanted him to like finish up properly. And it was just so sweet to watch because it just really shows you how much they care for each other through like these small little actions like this. So I'm gonna talk about the last thing is it's just really nice to see that they really hold performance craftsmanship at the top of their minds, and they really kind of like push themselves to the next level. They really mean it when they say that, you know, they want to make Engenes proud and that they want us to be able to call ourselves Engenes proudly with our shoulders raised high. Trying to like put out even better performances each time is just really, really heartwarming to see. You can really just feel the growth, man. Like, I just really hope that I'll be able to see them in Singapore. Like, ENHYPEN, if you ever come across this video, although I'm sure you won't, please come to Singapore. On like closing thoughts and things, I really think it was worth every penny to come here and see them. Every dollar spent, every cent. And not just because it's my birthday, like, I mean, it's definitely a special birthday that I'm gonna remember for a long time. I feel like it almost marks like a chapter 2 for me in my entire like Engenes journey. Just really happy that everything worked out in the end and that I was able to see them again. And I hope everyone who watches this will be able to see them live as well, because it's really, really worth it. Bye!